This is Pam Jackson from Sunrays Fashion, and we are all about style and empowerment, and we are doing a professional development series on personal growth, which has to do with personal development, and it is regarding phone interviews. Interviews are always such a difficult thing to prepare for because you are selling yourself to someone. Now, interviewing over the phone is a slightly different than a face-to-face. So I will share some tips with you that will assist you in preparing for the phone interview. Tip number 1 is smile. You want to always make sure that you're smiling over the phone because the interviewer cannot see you. So if you're smiling, it shows positive energy and confidence. And it also can calm your nerves. So always make sure to smile when you're on a phone interview. Tip number 2 is your cell phone. Make sure that your cell phone is charged and ready to go. And you also may want to do a practice interview, which is a mock interview, with someone calling you to test your phone prior to the interview, maybe an hour or 30 minutes prior. This will allow you to know that your phone is working adequately, your reception is good, and you can hear the person talking to you and they can hear you clearly. And also, do not put your phone on speaker, because speaker, you can hear other noises outside or inside where you are, because you want to also ensure that you are in a secluded area when you're using your phone, so you do not pick up any additional noises, because those things can carry also if you're not on a speakerphone. But always ensure that you do not be on a speaker phone. Tip number 3 is reference material. Make sure to have a copy of your most current resume and the job description out so you can reference them as you are interviewing, especially when it's tell me something about yourself. You want to paint a picture of your experience that relates to the job. This way, you have bullet points that you have written down, you have your resume, and you have the job description. And these tools will help you to be able to effectively give great answers to your interview questions. Tip number 4 is research the company. You want to make sure to research the company so you have information about the service or products that they provide, so you can easily throw that into your conversation as when you're interviewing. You want to also make sure that you have an understanding of the mission, the values of the organization. You want to make sure that you can express to the interviewer that you have great knowledge on the organization, which shows that you've gone above and beyond the job description just to make sure that you have an understanding of the organization and what the organization is about, and that you are displaying that you are a good fit for that organization in your interview responses. To take the phone interview serious. Even though it's a phone interview, you want to show that you are serious about this interview. You want to make sure that you are prepared. You're ready at least 5 minutes prior, whether you have to call in yourself or they're going to call you. Make sure everything is set up for you, laid out on your table. You also should sit at a table, not be on the sofa or laying in your bed for the interview, because that can show a very relaxed attitude to where it seems like you don't care about the interview, because you can hear when someone is relaxed, laying down, instead of someone sitting up and erect into a position like you're ready to provide answers and you're ready to go after this job. So make sure that you take the interview very seriously. Even though it's a phone interview, you make sure that you do that. It's a preliminary normally to take you to the next step, and you want to go to the next step to secure and to get that job. Tip 6 is notes. Make sure that you have bullet points. You can use these in a phone interview because no one can see what you have laid out in front of you, so you can use notes that you've bulleted so it's easily to reference them. And do not do each question have different bullets laid out, because that can get a little confusing when you're starting to answer the question and you're looking through your documents to see what you have so you can answer the question. So just do minimal bullets to help you in answering the questions. Number 7 is dress. I know you're saying, I'm on the phone, why do I need to worry about my dress? But if you dress the part, whether it's casual dress or business attire, it makes you feel that you're in the zone for an interview. Because if you were going face-to-face for an interview, you would be dressed. So just get dressed, get ready, and prepare yourself, and you will be amazed at how that makes you feel that you're in the role and you're accomplishing the interview, and it makes you feel very professional. That whereas if you were just lounging in your pajamas, laying in the bed on the phone, or if you were acting as though you were speaking to your friend, you want this to come across very professional. So think about and make sure you prepare yourself with your dress. Tip number 8 is focal point. What you can do when you're doing a phone interview, have something laid out. I use my resume as my focal point. That keeps me in the zone to let me know that I'm doing an interview and I'm not just having a personal call. So you can have your laptop open, have a picture up, maybe of the person that's interviewing you if you can find that information, or of the organization. That will keep you in the zone so you'll stay on point and know that you are doing a professional interview. You're not just having a chit chat with your friend, talking about the day's events of something like that. So have a focal point. It will help you through that interview. Tip number 9 is questions. When you're answering the interview question, you can ask them to repeat the question. You can take a slight pause to gather your thoughts, maybe reference your bullet points, and come back with a clear, succinct response. And also, you can, when you're coming to the end of the interview and they ask you, do you have any questions? Make sure you have 2 or 3 questions. That lets them know that you've researched the organization, you found some things that have interest about the job, you want to know more about the job, you're understanding what you're going to be doing, so you're going to ask them specific questions related to the job. And sometimes you can get that information through the questions that they're asking you as you're being interviewed. So always remember to ask questions. It shows that you have an interest in the position. The phone interview is always challenging because you can't see the individuals that you're speaking with, so you can't read them to understand if you're answering the way they want you to or you're not saying enough, because in the face-to-face interview you can kind of read those things and you can kind of throw other things to them to let them know that you are the candidate and the person for the job. So always be prepared, do your research, make sure you ask questions, provide a focal point. And those are just a few key things to keep in mind and make sure that you have a successful interview. And the one main thing that I want you to take from this, remember to always smile when you're on the phone. It comes across as confident and you have energy and you are prepared.